Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our talk show, NMP Talk Show. And today it's Monday, not Thursday. So we want to apologize for having this program postponed. It was beyond our control, but we're happy that you have joined us, and we're looking forward to your comments and your participation on the show. Now, what we're doing this evening, as you may have seen with our adverts, we're talking about the retail therapy. And this evening, I'm talking retail therapy with a lady. It's synonymous that uh, shopping goes with women. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble. Figile, welcome.
You are already in trouble now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our talk show. To our TikTok viewers, welcome to NMP Talk Show. We do appreciate, like my host has said, we do appreciate your comments. We do appreciate whatever you have to say. He is already in trouble by saying retail therapy goes hands in hands with women. But yes, the researchers shows that it's not me. I'm not
So
the
I
woman
want.
they're talking about.
Okay, so I'm not in trouble
No,
because
no.
yeah, the
Today,
researchers
I
are the
mean,
one.
I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide.
That's nice.
Yes,
That's
you
nice.
know, you're touching a very serious topic now when we're talking about retail therapy. People are thinking it's therapeutic. I mean, what's your take? You were talking about the research that you've done, talking about retail therapy. Is it really therapeutic? Before we can get into details.
Look, the research says it is therapeutic, and I won't dispute that because it's been done on a large scale. Most people use retail therapy when they're going through motions or whatever is happening in their lives. So I cannot say it's not working.
It,
But I
yeah.
think the purpose of our show is to show there is that retail therapy, but be careful because this affects your mental wellness. And the reason, underlying reasons why,
Hold it right
yeah,
there, Nero.
yeah,
I've got
yeah.
a viewer this side who says it is an excuse to waste money. What's your take on this one? Is it really an excuse to waste money, or what comes to it? Why would you say it's therapeutic? Because I like to oppose your opinion. I say it is not.
I guess you like to oppose my opinion because
Yeah, I
men
mean,
are never right.
it is how I do it. You know?
Men are never right. So I'll take that
Yeah,
for the men out there. Look, we
I
say
can I can accept that. I can accept that. Tell us
yeah.
your view.
Look, what was the question, by the way?
I'm asking. I'm saying
Yeah.
somebody here is saying that retail therapy is an excuse to waste money. I tend to agree with this person who says it is an excuse to waste money just because I want to oppose your opinion.
Well, it can be an excuse and it can be a valid reason, to
Yes.
do retail therapy.
Hmm.
And I won't say no, they are wrong. If you're saying it's an excuse, it means you have been using it as an excuse. Um, so you're just telling us, a nice way of telling us, you know what, I've been wasting money because of retail therapy, but why are you doing retail therapy? What is the real reason?
I'll tell you why I'm saying it is. I will agree with our viewer on the other side. I find
Yeah.
that people are unhappy most of the time, so they will
Yes.
say they're looking for something that will make them happy. So they try various things. Hence, it becomes a therapy
Hmm.
because I'm
Yeah.
unhappy. Maybe I believed at first that if I study and acquire qualifications and get a good job, and a lot of money, accumulate a lot of wealth, I will be happy. And only to find that when I get to that, I find that I'm not really happy. I tend to therapy, like retail therapy. Some they turn into alcohol,
Mm.
some they turn into drugs, just to find happiness. So when they're doing that, it's not really a therapy anymore. It's not working anymore because one, they find themselves indebted.
Mm.
You spending your
Yeah.
credit card, you spending money that you don't have just for you to find happiness. Or it happens that you acquire a lot of things and they don't fill that gap that is open, and you tend to get more and you want to buy more and more and more. How is it therapeutic in that way? Hence, I'm opposing your
You know
opinion.
what?
Yes.
You know why you go for more and more and more.
Hmm.
How we've been created as humans is that we always want to be in a happy space,
Hmm.
and in our creation in the brain, they say we have this hormone called dopamine.
Hmm.
So because of that dopamine,
Hmm.
it pushes us to go and search for more things that makes us happy,
Yeah.
and only to find that retail therapy is one of those things that
That
a
we
lot
tend
of
to.
people, can I say a lot of women as well, a lot of people,
Let's
let me
not
just be
say a
safe.
lot of women. Let's just say a lot of people. I'll tell
Okay,
you why I
I'll
say
be
that
safe.
when you finish your thoughts.
Yeah. So a lot of people would then want to go and buy things that makes them happy.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's not even about buying; it's about window shopping. Just going to a mall, looking at the things you like, that beautiful dress, and you're just looking. You picture yourself in it.
In that.
You know, it makes you happy, doesn't it? You're looking at those
You,
beautiful shoes, those beautiful
you're not
letters.
talking about that, the window shopping part. I'll share my
Yeah,
experience one time where I don't I can't say, you feel like you need to go out, but unfortunately I
yeah,
assumed that going
yes,
shopping was gonna make me happy, like window shopping, not physical purchasing, but just window shopping, looking around at things that I could buy. So I get into
yeah.
this branded store. I won't say the name.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
I love shoes and bags. So I saw a very nice shoe. I asked to try it on, and
yeah,
the people in the shop, I mean, the assistants in the shop, they say to me, or they not talking to me, they talking to each other, and
yeah.
I could hear, unfortunately, that she's just trying them out and she's not gonna buy anyways. She can't afford, you know. Just because they said that, I made the purchase. So it was impulse purchase to me because I didn't need to
Oh.
buy. And I didn't go to the shop to buy, but because I'm trying to show that I can afford to buy it. And I made that purchase.
So now you're bringing one element into this
Yes.
competition.
Yes. I mean, we can get to that as well. Competition. Other than competition, when you say she can't, I want to show you that I can.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
and it's something that people find themselves in almost every day, because if you don't check the class of people you meet with, if I
mm,
I'm in the midst of the housewives of Birmingham. I don't know if there's such, but I mean, if I'm
of Joburg.
in the midst of those housewives who live for
Yeah,
shopping, and I don't have the money to do that. Maybe they do, but I don't want to show them that I cannot afford to do such. But mentally and financially, I'm not there. But I say they cannot beat me. I will show them I can do it. And I find myself trying to do therapy. And I didn't finish my story. I had to go for therapy, like retail therapy, after making that purchase at that shop. you know,
Yeah.
to heal the wound that was created by me shopping on that shop. So, in my conclusion as a researcher today, retail therapy ain't working. I'm trying to feel something that can never be filled.
Yeah. So, so yeah, I know you bringing out stuff here, no? So one of the researches that I've done,
Mhm,
it says this is the reason why people go for retail therapy.
mhm.
It says loneliness.
Yeah.
When somebody feels lonely, um, they want to do something that makes them get them preoccupied and also makes them happy,
Mhm,
and only to find that retail therapy comes first on their list.
mhm.
And when somebody is under depression, they
Yeah.
also would opt for something that will make them happy
Mhm,
or forget the moment, that sad moment they're in.
mhm,
So
mhm.
basically, with retail therapy, it comes by buying or by just window shopping.
Yeah.
And it said that because of that, we want to picture ourselves. So we remove ourselves from a sad situation and then build this beautiful picture for us. While you're doing your window
Mhm,
shopping, you imagining yourself wearing that dress or wearing that suit or driving that beautiful car that's standing on the floor, you know, even though you might
mhm,
not have
mhm.
money to buy it, but then just imagining it makes you feel happy. So you're forgetting that sad moment that you were in. Now you're in a happy space. And
You're
it
not
said
saying that now. I'm sorry
it's
to cut
more the
you.
same like
Yes, I
yeah,
wanted to add on what you are saying that there's a
yeah,
hole that is open. Hence, we turn into retail therapy
yeah,
because we're trying to fill that hole, that gap that's there because we are unhappy. So when you try
yeah,
and you go there, you make a purchase. One researcher, actually, who's a doctor, just a disclaimer: me and you are not
yeah.
qualified psychologists here. We are just having
Yes, yes, yes.
conversation, and we are quoting the researchers that we went through before this show because I don't have the
Yeah,
experience on whether it works or it doesn't. But this researcher said when people are feeling sad, they will go do a retail therapy, and when they come back, and whatever that hole couldn't be filled, if it couldn't be filled, they will go back again to do another shopping, because they are trying to be happy. And another researcher said it gives people power. If they feel inferior and they feel they are unhappy with their
yeah.
life, if they go purchase that Bentley, they feel they hold the power. It gives them that power, that satisfaction, but not the happiness they are looking
Yo,
for.
the sense of control
Yeah.
is also what pushes people to retail therapy.
Mhm.
You're talking about, or well, both of us are talking about the hole that we want to fill, and we cannot feel it at that moment. So you'd go for retail therapy.
Mhm.
But it says here because we want to have control of our situation.
Mhm.
That's why a lot of people would tend to retail therapy. When they're there and they start buying, now they feel that they're in control. Like you were saying, you were there at the shop and then somebody was just fitting, but they could not afford it, but you could, and you were pushed to buy, do a purchase.
No, they were
Then
not
you
saying it
choose
to
to move on.
somebody else. They were talking about me.
Oh, they were talking about you.
They were talking about me in front of me, hoping that I couldn't hear them.
Oh, they were saying that you
So
can
the
afford it.
assistants in the shop were talking about me. I
Ah,
asked to try on a shoe, and they just said, you
yeah.
know, when you wake up in Joburg, the nicer thing is that you don't get dressed to go to the mall. You know, with your PJs,
Yeah.
you can go to the mall. So I think I kind of was looking like a person who, yeah, I was just a normal Betty, Benny,
What does it even mean?
you know. And when they said that, I felt like they were embarrassing me. They were insulting me. So I was showing them that I can actually make that purchase, but it wasn't something I planned for. So
Sure.
it didn't really work for me because I had to go out for a drink to distress.
It reminds me of one occasion. I went with somebody to a shop.
Hmm.
We just shopping for an event, and we got into the shop. So he's looking at the suits and all that,
Hmm.
and we seen this beautiful suit, eh? Yeah,
Yeah.
but the price on it, yeah, I also didn't afford it. So anyway, we said, you know what? Let's fit and
Hmm.
see how it looks like.
Hmm.
And just be happy. And we just walk out here. We know this is what fits, and this is the card. It's beautiful,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So as he was looking at it, the salesperson was around. So he walks up to us, and especially to the friend of mine there,
Yeah.
and then he says, "Oh, you wanna fit it?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I want to fit it." And he asked for a price. So, how much is this? The salesperson says the number, the price.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo,
Yeah.
it's expensive. You know what he did?
Yeah.
He turned his body. The salesperson turned my friend's body,
Hmm.
and had this head on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He pointed out to a shop outside. He says, "You see that shop? That's
That
where
could
you can
see.
afford."
Ah!
Oh.
I can
You
feel,
know,
I can feel, I
because
wasn't there, but I feel that pain, hey?
I'm still feeling it now.
Yeah.
And and I was like, you don't do that. So anyway,
No,
we walk out, and I said to my friend, when you get to a shop, even if you don't afford, don't
you
show
don't
them you don't
say.
afford. You don't say it.
Hmm.
Fit if you wanna fit, you know? And then you're like, oh, okay, this is how much it costs. Oh, okay, maybe I can consider two of these with different colors. And then they look at you differently. They give you that dignity.
Yeah.
But the moment you say, yo, the
It's
price is too
very
much,
expensive.
they would take the dignity, off of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's I think we derailed our topic there.
I
But
know,
but we
I
can
know,
see
but
that.
hey, it's still
in-
part of retail therapy, whether
Yeah.
it works or not. Like I said, to me, I'm opposing the fact that it works. Although some people will say,
Mm,
like you, I mean, like if you're doing it nicely. So if you
mm,
know how to do shopping, you've got a
mm,
list, your spending, um, how much you want to spend. If you're going for window shopping, you just make sure that you leave the phone that you use to tap at home. You use anything that will afford you the opportunity to make a purchase. And then you can go for
wow, your
your
credit card.
retail therapy. Then probably that will work. But I think how people view you out there will force you to make a purchase you don't need to make. Like we said earlier, that if you are in a competition with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, while you are a plain Betty from the streets, I mean, it will leave you so stressed out to a point whereby
Yeah.
you spend a little. So, how people do it is I will take my credit card. I mean, they look at what I can possibly make on a monthly basis and they can offer me a credit card. I take that credit card. I'm already paying a house. I'm already paying for my car. I'm paying school fees. So I don't have any money left for spending. If I don't watch how I spend that money, I will be in trouble.
Yes.
But because I've got that plastic to make the purchase, I can just go and make a purchase that I cannot afford to pay back, find myself stressed
Mm.
out that I cannot able to live within my means, and I go take out a personal loan. So this is what contributes to your mental um, unwellness, because we wanted to
Wellness.
say how it contributes to your mental well-being. So how it contributes,
Yeah.
retail therapy on its own, if you know how to do it, it could work. But if you are like me, you don't know how to do it, you let people's opinions about you count. I mean, you're already doomed, because you're going to spend money that you don't have to make a purchase that you don't need. And you find yourself
Mm.
stressed out again, and you still need to make more purchases. So that is going to cause a lot of stress within in your life. Then retail therapy is
Mm.
not going to work anymore. Maybe now I can introduce drugs and alcohol because I forget that I made that purchase, and then I worry the next day that I spent so much money on the things that I didn't need. So really, it didn't work out for me in that way. Do you have anything that you can say that people can look at? Like we said, a disclaimer:
Do
we
you
are not
know?
psychologists, we are not psychiatrists. It's just a conversation we are having with my host here.
Do you know that retail therapy is classed in the same level or same WhatsApp group as abuse of alcohol, of drugs, of gambling addiction? That's how serious that
Yeah,
this is.
it is serious. I didn't know about this until today's show. I didn't know how it is classed. You go out and you say, I'm going for retail therapy, and we taking
Yeah.
it as me going to see a psychologist, because that's another therapy. I believe it's therapeutic. So other researchers were
Mm.
saying that you don't even have to look at it, because if you can only look at retail therapy if you are seeing a therapist, and you will be able to
Yeah.
catch it if it is not right for you at that point. Because if you are not seeing a therapist and you are using retail therapy to heal yourself, then you are in trouble, because if it is not filled, you will continue, you will be buying out. You could make purchase a house, you could buy that
Yeah.
expensive car that you cannot afford to buy, just because you're
But
trying to
how do you
feel.
curb that?
uh,
How do you fight that? How do you curb that? How do you win over this trend?
one thing I read was that you need to know the people you are around, if they can help you.
Association.
Because yes, your association, look at your association. If you are amongst people who compete, the competition between friends or siblings, if you are
Yes.
you associate with that kind of people, you need to find new friends. They say you cannot choose your family. You need to start choosing your family, because it's not good for you. It means there's something that is not right going on in your life, and you need to
Mm.
deal with it. But if they say, you need to do this, or I do this, and they make it sound good, oh no, I went to buy this,
Mm.
and you find that, oh, let's buy this. I mean, you didn't think about this, you didn't budget for this, but you are buying. I mean,
Mm.
what is it doing to your finances? What is it doing to your mental health? What is it doing to
Mm.
you as a person? So you need to be on the lookout for those things, and try some things, because like we said earlier, it's because I'm unhappy. Go back, one
Mm.
step back, two step back. What is it that's making me this unhappy? And try to deal with
Yeah.
that. If you've got good friends like me, I've got you and your wife. I know that if I come to our shows, whatever was happening, I mean, I forget about it. I'll see it later. And I'll be refreshed at that time. So that's good for me, And others were suggesting that go for walks, go for hikes, go for jogs. I
Mhm.
mean, you don't spend
Yeah.
much on those things, but they are therapeutic. With retail therapy, you will be spending more, and maybe it won't be therapeutic for you.
So there's a certain doctor in the US called Dr. Bay.
Yeah.
Um, he says there, or she says, if you're concerned about developing a compulsive shopping behavior,
Hmm.
try to convert your goal of control to
Hmm.
the excitement of a new positive behavior.
Yes.
And she says that behavior would be like working out or eating healthy.
Hmm.
And then you'll be surprised at how happy you will feel working towards those positive results. So um, you have to find, like any other addiction, you have to fight it and then replace it with something else. You can't just fight it and not replace it.
Yeah.
There's an expression: nature doesn't allow any vacuum. So
Hmm.
if this is taking the space and you want to eliminate it, find something to replace that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will always come back to that.
Yeah.
Welcome. We see we have people joining us on Twitter. Thanks for joining, and we're noting you. If you have any questions, you can type there, and we'll be happy to answer if we can.
Or if they have anything
Levette.
to say,
Thank you,
we're talking retail therapy.
Levette.
Some are,
Yeah,
what is your view? I mean, if you feel like it is therapeutic, it's good. Tell us, how is it therapeutic to you? And a negative one like me, I mean, it's still welcome. We welcome all the thoughts to say, is it really therapeutic or is it not? And how it's
yeah,
contributing to your mental wellness. Like we said,
yes,
the contribution can be good, can be bad. I mean, if I'm like we said, that it starts from the level of unhappiness. If I am
yeah,
unhappy and I'm doing it because I am unhappy without me knowing the cause of me being unhappy, I mean, it won't solve the problem. But if I know that,
yeah,
you know what, I just need to go for shopping and I will feel not that I'm unhappy, I just have the money to go and spend and feel happy, like going out. If it makes you happy, you can go out. And if you feel like I've got the money
mm,
and I can go and spend it and feel happy, and not need a therapist after that, then it's good for you. Go for
yeah.
it. You know?
And, and one thing also that unfortunately is a negative
Mm.
about this therapy or retail therapy is that it it disarms you, from control of your finances.
Hmm.
You become impulsive, and those actually are the signs of somebody who has a problem.
Yeah.
So you need to fight the root cause, not the symptoms.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
if you know, if you want to know what makes you sad, what brings you down, that's what you need to deal with.
Hmm.
Not like, alcohol. If you stress and all of that, you
Hmm.
go and drink yourself to a stoop, and you drunk. The
Hmm.
following day, you have a hangover. You don't know what you've done, and yeah, it's a problem.
Because you introduced the what's this, the alcohol therapy.
Yes.
You know
Yeah.
that
Sorry, before you
yes.
do that, there's a comment on Twitter
Hmm.
from Livette. It says, it honestly is from time to time. One just need to do it with control.
Yes, if you
But
can
but when do
control
you
it,
draw when do
I
you draw a
agree.
line, Livette? When do you draw a line?
Yes, yes.
That is the main issue
Because
there.
that's the problem.
Because
I mean,
the line is very thin.
if you know your
Yeah,
limits, it's like alcohol. That's one thing I wanted to add
yeah,
on, to say, if
yeah,
you know your limits, because I think we get to alcohol abuse because we don't know the limit and we don't know why we're drinking it. If I drink it
yes,
because I'm stressed, obviously the end result will be that I'll be drunk. But if
Yeah.
I love the rotten grapes, the fermented grapes. So I love the
Yeah.
fermented grapes. I love the
I
taste
have a
of the
video.
fermented
I have a
grapes.
video to prove that. You
You
you want
know,
me to
so
play it?
no, don't. So I drink them because I enjoy them, not because I'm going through
Mm,
something and then I decide to do it. So if you know when
that's
to
true.
draw the line, I do know
Mm,
that I cannot drink when I'm stressed out because I know that I will be doing what is wrong. I'll get drunk.
yeah.
But if I come back
Livette
from
says
a
there one.
tiring day
Mm,
and I have a glass of wine, then it's good. So it's the same as retail therapy. If I know my limits, if I know that, you know what, I just want to go and spoil myself and that works
yeah.
for me, it's great. But if I'm going through a certain phase or I'm stressed out or I'm unhappy about something and I go
Yeah.
spend the money, I will not, I'm not dealing with the root cause. I'm dealing with the symptoms of what caused it. And then, yes, for the time being, it will be good, maybe for a week. And next week, I'll do the very same thing. What is Livette
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Is he coming back to us?
Livette is yeah. Livette is saying you one cannot spend money you don't have. But how many of us, Livette, have been spending money that we
That
don't
we
have
don't
because we
have,
have this
because
specific stuff?
that's where I'm going. I mean, we always say that you don't have to spend money that you don't have.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because now we've got access to credit cards, you know,
Yeah.
that plastic is
Plastic
very
money.
much accessible. So if you've got access on that plastic, then you're going to be spending money that you don't have and you'll have to pay interest on it. If you are
Hold
like
on.
me, you
Somebody
love
somebody might
certain
say,
shops that are offering clothes on credit or shoes on credit or bags on credit. You're going to spend money that you don't have because you're going to buy because you're given that credit. And then now you will have
yeah.
to be stressed out about paying that money back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Mhm.
And also recreation shopping. Recreational shopping. Shop for recreation.
Okay,
You just
elaborate on
want to
that
go
one,
and buy.
Noah.
You just want to go and buy.
Yeah, impulse
You
shoppers.
know? Yeah, because and also because you have the funds for it. You just go and buy.
That's the thing. Having
It says
funds
here,
that you don't
it says here,
know.
let me quote.
Yeah,
Let me quote here. It says,
please do.
"Do not shop for recreation." It says, "Lavish shopping malls have turned shopping into entertainment.
Yes.
Although you might visit a mall or browse the internet simply for enjoyment,
Hmm.
much of what you see is designed to stimulate your desire to buy.
Yep.
Shop only when you have a specific purchase in mind and stick to your plan." How many times have I found myself on Take a Lot or this online
And
shop
purchasing
really
all these
looking at,
unnecessary gadgets.
hmm, do I need this one? Hmm, add to cart basket. What do you call it?
You're not talking
Add to
about
basket.
that. No, I mean, I can attest to it because shopping has been made so accessible. Even when I'm
Yeah,
here at home, I can still do my shopping
yeah,
online.
yeah,
One
yeah,
thing that it was a bad habit, and I'm very much happy that I outgrew that habit. Bad habit. I
yeah,
will go on various online stores and put
yeah,
things that I can't afford on my basket,
yeah,
you know, just for the sake of putting things on my basket. Not because I'm going to make the purchase, but because I
yeah.
like that thing. But at times you feel like, okay, I've got the money this month, I can buy. Not that I've got the money for
Customer was
that,
alone.
But because I saw it, I liked it, I want to make a purchase. I didn't have money then, and now that I've got the money, I feel like I've got the funds to make the purchase, and I go make that purchase. It was a very bad habit because I will clear my card by making a payment. I don't clear my card
Yeah.
by deleting everything that's in my card. And it was very bad. That's
Have you,
why, because it was very accessible. So I agree that you need to know what you want to buy. You need to know
yeah.
when you are making that purchase. And then you can go
Yeah.
shopping. Because if you will just go in a shop, you will come back with a little bit, with a little bag, with a little plastic.
And sometimes you hide it, you leave it at the car, in the
Hey,
car.
you don't know. I go out going to
Do
buy
you
bread
know?
and I come back with a box of shoes.
Do you know there are those that are so extreme at it, um, also addicted to retail therapy, that they go and buy and purchase things, they come back, and tomorrow they can't remember if they bought things.
Yeah,
They have no recollection of buying
making that
anything.
purchase.
And then they go out and make another purchase. Man, they must have a lot of money, but it's not the case.
You,
It's
you
the
know,
addiction.
it is an addiction.
Extreme.
You're not talking about that
Mm,
now. I've seen people who will go make the purchase. That's one. You go
yeah.
to the shop, you make a purchase, not because you want it,
Mm.
because now you feel like it's therapeutic. You're buying things that you don't need, and you come back, you put it in your wardrobe, and you forget about them. Not that you had the money, that's one, because you thought
Mm.
you will, it's therapy for you.
Need them
You
one day.
come back years later when those things are out of fashion and they no longer fit you. They still have tags on, and you are broke or indebted. So it
You
is.
know, talking about being broke and indebted,
Mhm.
I was speaking to my neighbor during the day.
Yes.
We were just having a chat, and he said something very interesting, and I thought that was a different way of looking at purchasing things.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
he says, why do we purchase things? I didn't want to answer because these questions, these I always want to take them as rhetoric questions.
Hmm.
I was like, tell me why.
Hmm.
He says you must purchase something that will in turn save you when you don't have the funds.
Yeah.
So don't purchase just because you want to, but purchase um, something that when you in dire straits and you need money,
You
you
can
can
be
get a
able to sell
return
them.
on that.
I will
So you
agree
can
with
sell it.
that.
I was like, that's another way of looking at making a purchase, and especially when you have a business, you don't just buy things, but you need to make sure that whatever you buy can
It's
have a
gonna
return
work.
on your business.
Hmm.
If it doesn't, well, your mental wellness is out the window.
Don't
So
don't
everything boils
remove the
down to
text.
mental
Don't lose
wellness.
the box. I'm not teaching. I'm not saying
That's why I said
anything. I'm just saying don't lose the receipt. Don't lose the box, so that I'll go back to what your neighbor was saying. I
wait,
will
wait, wait.
agree with
Before you
that.
go there,
Yes.
before you go there,
Mhm.
my wife says I'm a hogger and I hog stuff. And one day I was looking, I have boxes and boxes of the things that I bought. And it's like, why are you not throwing this away? Like, no, babes.
I
One day I
can't.
will need these boxes. So now I have a reason to say, no, this box, if I want to sell something that I bought and it has a original package on it, I can get it even more.
Yeah,
You know, it
yeah.
doesn't lose the
I mean,
value that
if
much.
only that's true, hey? Because talking about hoggers, my youngest
Yeah.
sister was studying psychology. So I had,
Yeah.
I think now that I'm looking at it, I might be a hogger too, because I will keep things because they've got a certain memory, or this pair of shoes, I bought it when whatever was happening, but I'm
Yeah.
no longer wearing it. Or this pair of shoes, my mom bought it for me. I've never worn it. Or my
Mm.
friend gave it to me.
Yeah.
I've never worn it, but I've still kept it. And she was like, you know what? Take these things and give them to somebody who will use them. So
Yeah.
I might be a hogger one way or the other, but we are not there. I wanted to say that there's investment purchasing. So
Mm.
if you feel like you you find retail therapy therapeutic for you, you'd rather
Yeah.
buy things that you can resell. Like if you buy investment bags, and if you buy things that you can resell, at a higher price. If you know that those things can be resold at a later stage when you need the money. And again, I'm
Mm.
not promoting people to make purchases with their plastic. I cannot buy a pair of shoes that I will sell 2 years later with my credit card,
Mm.
because I will have to pay interest on that, and that pair of shoe is not going to make the interest that I paid back to the bank. So I wouldn't advise you to
Yeah.
do that. But if you've got the cash and you find it therapeutic, go and make investment purchases. Like for ladies,
Mm.
because they said retail therapy is for us. Go for the things that you can resell at a higher price tomorrow. You know, coming from a lady who, yeah, coming from a lady who has been seen as a shopper. When Nell
Shopaholic.
started said this goes to me, no. But if you are a lady watching our show today and you know that you
Yeah.
enjoy shopping, if you know, it doesn't have to be very expensive. You can make a business out of it. We're talking about online stores here. You can go and make a purchase at a lower a price, and you come back, you open your online store, and you resell that. That's worth it. But if you are to make a purchase and you keep it in your wardrobe, I doubt if it's working, especially if you're going to leave it with a tag. I
Mm.
used to, not anymore. I used to make a purchase, when they've got the clearance sales. You go to
Yeah.
those stores that you don't normally go there, because you can't
Yeah.
afford. And then they've got a clearance sale. And the clearance sale, it's the smallest size in the shop. That can never wake up one day fitting me. But because it is on a clearance special. It's a
So
75%
you buy it.
off. I make the purchase. The stupid part from my side was that I didn't know that I could open my online store, because I could resell those items. I could make the purchases and resell them at a later stage.
Mm.
Whether it's a vintage dress or a vintage skirt or a vintage shirt,
Mm.
but because it was a matter of I couldn't afford when it was still fitting me, when they still had my sizes in stock, I
Yeah.
couldn't buy. But now that they don't have my size, it is on 75% for sale. Now, I know I talk a lot. Over to you now.
So when you resell it, do you do you sell it with a 75% off?
Why will I do that?
Or with a I don't
It's
know.
a
I'm asking.
business.
I haven't done that.
You are doing business.
All right.
It wouldn't
So
make
those
sense.
are the benefits. Okay. All right. Now, if there are benefits in doing that, it's better. But retail therapy, in honesty, um, it's not the way to go. It might seem like it's a solution to the problem, but it's not. And you also might think that retail therapy can be controlled. It's very hard to control it. Like any other substances, your drugs, your alcohol, whatever, that makes you happy, whatever that stimulates that dopamine in from your brain. Um, you should be very careful about it. Rather, concentrate on the things that benefit you, things that benefit your family or people around you. Because if it benefits you only, then there's a problem there.
I agree.
The problem is you will be satisfied for a moment. That's where the danger is now.
That's where the danger
So
is.
if
You,
you
you, 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 you know, talking about
yeah.
doing things that will not harm your family. This will be a
Mm,
topic for another day where we talking about financial cheating. We're
yeah.
talking about that there's women who does that, and males as well, actually, for to my surprise. So you go to the shop because there's something that you are unhappy about, and you want to
Mm,
solve that unhappiness, and you go shopping.
mm,
You don't tell your partner that you did made that
yeah.
purchase, and
Yeah. But
maybe you
still,
spending you don't have joint bank accounts.
mm,
You've got your own bank account, but you are hiding it from your partner. So that's financial cheating. You go to the shop, you make the purchase, you're hoping that by the time you come back home, your husband won't be back from work, or your kids won't be home. They still be at school. Only to your surprise, that day everybody is early and they are home. You have to leave the
what do you
bags
do
in the car, and
in
then
the
you
car?
get inside like you went to buy bread. That's what leads to the financial cheating, because it starts as a retail therapy, but at the end of the day
Mm,
it becomes cheating, because cheating is something that you're doing and you don't want other people to know that you're doing it. So that's cheating. So
yeah.
the minute you find that you don't want your partner to know that you went to purchase for that bag, or for that dress, or for that pair of shoes, I mean, that's cheating, and it causes a lot of havoc in your marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't have a joint account, unfortunately, that's where the temptation is. You're able to spend without the other spouse knowing the expenditure.
Mhm.
But now it will come in at a later stage, and that's when it blows up. And when it blows up, it damages a lot of things,
It
and
kills the
it touches
trust,
on
Neo. That's the first thing that it will
yeah.
do. It kills the trust in that
Ah,
marriage.
welcome Byron. Welcome Byron on Telegram.
Hey, Baron.
You can raise your hand to comment. We haven't had him on the show for a long time,
We have a day. He needs to come back and join us on stage now.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely. So yeah, it's very dangerous to not to limit yourself, to
Mhm,
stay in control.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
And one research said you need to limit exposure because our family watches every little thing that we do. And if we watching TV, we following affluent people on social media, that also has an impact on our mental wellness because we want to measure up with those
With those
people,
people. And that's.
and it encourages impulsive spending.
Mhm,
It encourages you know uh, the sense of wanting to be seen as capable.
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
reflecting back to what you said, that they were talking about you, that you can afford, but
And
you
you want to
you
show them that you
purchase
can,
to
of which,
show them that you
in
can
all
afford.
honesty, you cannot afford. I mean, it was a given I couldn't
Yeah.
afford. You know,
Yeah.
I think now again, this has to start from, you know, when we've got kids, we need to teach them um,
Mm.
the buying. I'm not sure how to put this. So we need to teach our kids that
Yeah.
spending is good, but when and how to spend. Because I
Yes.
think this thing that made that purchase was because I didn't really had a good relationship with money then. So money got, money spent. Because
How many of us
you know
do?
the marketers, they put all these things on the shelves. You know, when you're going to
Yeah.
the till, they put sweets,
Yeah.
they put toys on that shelf, and your kids will start crying. And you will be forced to make that purchase because they are crying.
Purchase.
So if we teach our
Yeah.
kids that, you know what, having money doesn't mean that you have to spend, and you don't have to be an
Yeah.
impulsive buyer. Before you can make a
Mm.
purchase, just find
Mm.
out, why do you want to make the purchase? How is it going to
Yeah.
contribute positively in your household or in your life?
Yeah.
And then you can
Yeah.
make a decision and question your decision before you can make the final decision. So that will
Yes.
help you, you know, not to resort to retail therapy where you get to spend money, and you can
Yeah.
go for shopping. So it will be safe for you to go for window shopping because you know how to control your spending.
Sure. Thanks for that.
Mhm. Hey, and then that's the music that I do not like. It means, hey, the fun is over.
As, as we wrap up, what do we take away from this discussion that we had about retail therapy and your mental wellness?
You know, from my side now, all I can say is that you need to know, why are you resorting to retail therapy? Is it because
Mm.
you want to spoil yourself? Because if you're working, you want to spoil yourself at times, you know, just for you to
Mm.
be able to enjoy your waking up every day in the morning and going to work. So if that is the reason, then it's good. I mean, it contributes positively in your life, it contributes positively in your mental wellness. But if I am unhappy and I resort to retail therapy, spending money that I do not have, and that the cause of my unhappiness is not really fulfilled. So tomorrow I will want to spend, if I spent 1,000 rand today, tomorrow I will be forced to spend 2,000 rand that I don't have. And I will end up being indebted and I will still be stressed out. So that retail therapy is becoming a drug that I need to find, like, what is it? I need to go and see a psychologist or psychiatrist to get treatment for that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there is a problem. I shouldn't be solving or healing the symptoms, but I should heal the root cause of why I'm unhappy.
That's so true. So what I'm taking away from this as well is that we need to find healthier ways to find happiness.
Mhm,
You know, and happiness does not result from spending from what you don't have.
mhm,
You know,
mhm, mhm,
being financially or your energy.
mhm,
So concentrate on the things that make you happy. We all want that those hormones to, to rush in our brains, the dopamine hormones to rush.
mhm,
So find things, exercise, eat healthy,
mhm,
associate with people who are same minded,
mhm,
same belief,
mhm,
and that way it encourages you to do what is right, and it doesn't leave you as an island, because the moment you feel isolated and you like an island,
mhm,
that's when all those things bombard your mind, and then they bring you down. That's
mhm,
when now
mhm.
you want to resort to this
Retail
therapy,
therapy.
retail therapy.
Yeah, yeah.
Take care of your spirituality as well. That's also one important aspect.
Yeah.
You know, we can walk away from this and think we don't need it, but we do
We
need
do.
it. So
We
if
do.
you do walk away from that, also know your financial status, because once you go
Amen
out
to
and
that.
spend
Say that again. What
and
do
you
you have
don't
to
know,
take care of?
and then you don't know your financial status, you'll be stuck into this feeling, sad feeling
Hmm.
that you have not even tried to fix.
Yeah.
Go for the root cause and you'll be happy.
Amen
So
to that,
thanks a lot.
Noah.
Yeah, I don't know if you have any
No, from
questions
my
or
side,
comments.
Noah, I think we've covered everything. I mean, um, like I will repeat this. We are not therapists here. We're just
Yes,
having
we're
a
not.
conversation. You know, if you
Yeah,
know that you've got a problem with regards to retail therapy, go and consult. Go see your psychologist. Go see your psychiatrist if you've got any. Go see your social
yeah,
worker if there's any, and they'll be able to refer you. Because
yeah,
you know, we can just share what others are saying. Some people went through the similar experience, and that's why they are sharing. But it doesn't mean that what worked for them will work for you. So you need to get professional help for you to get
yeah.
assisted on this one.
Right. So, Figile,
Yes.
thanks for this informative discussion that we had. What are we talking about next week? Not even next week, on
On
Thursday.
Thursday, this week,
This
Thursday, because we
yeah,
missed this one.
yeah,
So next
yeah,
Thursday, we will be talking about. I don't know whether I should say it's a sensitive issue, but it's something that we need to talk about it openly. Marital regimes. You
yeah,
know, what are the
yeah,
marital regimes? How many are they? How positively can they impact on your life? And how
yeah.
negatively they can impact in your life? And how to choose the one that is good for you. You know, if you want to know about marital regimes, so marital regimes, it's the same as marital contracts, because when you're getting married, you're signing a contract with the other party. You know, so knowing
Yeah.
exactly what type of contracts you signed with that person and what are the pros and cons of that contract will help you in the near future. How and
In
why,
layman's
and
terms,
you know, just join us next Thursday. Oh, this Thursday.
you speaking big
Big
words there.
words.
In
I
layman's
We will
terms,
have people that you can actually, who are experts in the field. I'm not an expert, I just know the field, but I will we will be having experts in the field who will be discussing the marital regimes and what they've experienced in their field, you know, because they will be talking, sharing things that they've seen and how we can actually avoid the bads of the things that they've seen.
so are we talking about getting married in community of property or
That's
out
what
of
we're talking
property?
about. So there's quite a lot of
Really?
them. There's customary marriage,
Eh,
there's marriage in community of property, there's marriage out of community of property with accrual,
yeah,
there's marriage out
yeah.
of community of property without accrual. All those are just contracts that you have to know, you know, before you sign them, not already when you've signed.
All right. Thank you for that beautiful explanation, Figile. Yeah, you had me lost there when we were talking about the regimes.
Regimes.
But
Okay,
yeah,
let's
in
say
layman's
contracts.
terms,
I think that's good.
yeah, there you go. So thank you everyone for joining us. We had audience from Telegram for the first time that we stream into Telegram, and for the next time, if you want to connect on Telegram, you'll be able to raise your hand and comment. Everyone can hear you. We also had audience from Twitter, which we're happy to have entertained their questions as well. So we're looking forward to seeing you on Thursday when we're talking about marriage regimes and layman's terms contracts, marriage contracts. Which one fits you? Which one is the best? Well, until we see you then, my name is Nao Morapedi and I'm with Figile Nkosi. We both hosting NMP Talk Show. Until next time, we see you then.
Thank you very much, Neo. Thanks to our audience. We had audience on TikTok as well.